today. Given the fact that Silvergate really does have a front row seat as essentially the bridge between crypto and traditional finance.
What's going on, everybody? This is Crypto Della here with another video. This is the Silvergate CEO, Alan, I believe is his name, Alan Lane. This video was from last year, 2022, and it's basically saying that you don't have to worry, even though they were tied to FTX. Fast forward to today, and of course, it looks like they're filing for bankruptcy. They're shutting their doors. So let's just hear what he has to say about everything.
As we see more headlines, whether it's the BlockFi bankruptcy, headlines this morning about Genesis looking to avert a possible bankruptcy filing, other firms halting lending and other trading services and activity. How dire is the situation in the crypto market right now?
Yeah, good morning, Morgan. It's good to be with you again. So the way I think we should be thinking about this is I think we need to zoom out. I just heard you mention the price of Bitcoin and ETH both being down this month. And, Silvergate has been banking this ecosystem for 9 years. So this type of volatility is not new to us. And in fact, we've built our platform to help our customers through both the good times and the challenging times, such as we're experiencing now. But if I step all the way back to when we first got into this business, it was Bitcoin only. And our primary focus when we got into this business was to essentially help Bitcoiners on-ramp and off-ramp between the US dollar and other fiat currencies into Bitcoin and then back out. We developed the SEN, the Silvergate Exchange Network, to bring the legacy banking system that only operates during normal business hours during the week into the 24/7 Bitcoin trading market, so that the SEN with our API helps our customers move US dollars 24/7. And so it's certainly a challenging time across all financial markets, and Bitcoin is no exception. But the SEN, the Silvergate Exchange Network, still provides the same service we've been providing for years, 24/7, access to US dollars.
I don't see how you could have that interview and him being the CEO. I'm sure he has insider information into what's really going on, but it just goes to show you that you really have to do your homework and not really trust what people are saying, right? The public and everyone else, or even the CEOs. I'm sure he knew what was going on, and he just trying to, do damage control and letting you know that, hey, you know what, we've been through this. We've 9 years when it was only Bitcoin only, and now this is just some downturn, and they're gonna get through it. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
Okay, I want to get into that a little bit more. I mean, to your point, you're federally regulated. You provide liquidity to the system, and presumably you're in a position because of that to defend against a so-called run on the bank to satisfy client deposit redemption requests. Have there been many?
Yeah, so as a publicly listed company, Morgan, I have to stick to our public statements, but we have provided a mid-quarter update where we did share that our average deposits for the first half of the quarter were down compared to the third quarter. But importantly, I want to go back to the first point that you just made, which is that as a federally regulated bank, we have built our platform to essentially be able to handle customer withdrawals and customer inflows 24/7. And the way we do that, and again,
And remember, he says they're federally regulated or whatever, right? So if this company, which was regulated, what could happen to Coinbase? What could happen to Binance? It's like at this point, you don't even know what's going to happen in the crypto market. These big companies, FTX being one of them as well, and over here now, Silvergate, these are companies that are built on solid ground, so we thought, and now they're going down. So it's like now, because of no regulation, it's like, well, where do you turn? Where do you put your money? And in this case, where is the crypto industry going?
Stick to our publicly disclosed numbers, but as of September 30th, Silvergate had $13 billion, a little over $13 billion in cash and investment securities that were available to support only $12 billion in deposits. Another way to think about that is if all the deposits left, Silvergate has cash and securities to support all of that outflow. Now, this is certainly a deep crypto bear market, but we don't think it's going to zero. And so anywhere between zero and that $12 billion that we ended the quarter at, Silvergate has the liquidity to service our customers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And unfortunately, that's not what happened.
Corporate is now announcing their intent to wind down their operations and voluntarily liquidate Silvergate Bank. So this is just another negative headline coming from the company. Just last week, they delayed their annual.
A company that had fallen from grace, who we all thought was built on solid ground. Unfortunately,
their annual report. They also, on Friday, they said that they were going to discontinue Silvergate Exchange Network. And all of this comes when the company we know in Q4 posted a $1 billion loss after the collapse of FTX. So again, Silvergate shares are down 40% right now just because they've announced their intent to wind down operations and voluntarily liquidate Silvergate Bank. So there's been a lot of negative headlines. This is just another one contributing to the stock drop.
I will note the stock is down a lot, but I'm looking at the price of Bitcoin. It's still right around 22,000. Doesn't seem to be doing much in response to this. I mean, I don't know if you have a sense of whether, this is seen as being a ripple effect of FTX and not a trigger of any particular crypto systemic risk in and of itself.
No, I would definitely say that, and all the bulls would argue that this has to do particularly with FTX and not necessarily crypto. And you can even use yesterday's 500-point drop in the markets, and Bitcoin didn't really fall that dramatically, which is helping the case that crypto, or especially Bitcoin and maybe Ether, might be a little bit more stable now that.
Well, I think it has some effect on the whole crypto market as a whole, right? It may not have a large effect because Silvergate is really tied to FTX, and as everyone is saying, that was the reason for their downfall. But of course, this being the crypto bank, in quote, it's going to have an effect, right? It may not have a large effect on the overall market on the crypto, but it's definitely going to. And as we speak now, the whole crypto industry is down. Not even $1 trillion. It's $900 billion as the time of this video. So it has some effect. It's not large, but it's some.
That these conversations about regulations have been coming forward. But in this particular case, they're blaming FTX.
It is. It's staggering what has happened to this bank and how quickly it has happened.
I know.
Christina.
It's a great business case, that's for sure, for school.
Yeah, and the stock is lower, but you have Signature Bank, which is also has crypto focus, is trading lower, down 5% right now in sympathy as well. There have been a lot of shorts in the Silvergate stock in anticipation as the FTX situation was blowing up, that you could see the demise very, very quickly. I mean, it was just year ago, maybe not even, that at least among some in the investment banking community of Wall Street, we're really kind of looking at Silvergate as the next big hot thing, given the fact that the SEN was growing so rapidly.
At the same time, we might not be done seeing the ripple effects here. I saw a headline today from CoinDesk about Gemini's relationship with JP Morgan. Apparently, Gemini pushing back, saying there is still a relationship with JP Morgan, but maybe that's on the wane. I thought that maybe once the price of Bitcoin stabilized above 20K, you'd stop seeing this. But I wonder, how long does this turn around, and how much do things like Friday's job report have an impact, not just on stocks, not just on bonds, but on crypto as well?
Yeah, that is something we'll just have to wait and see. And he mentioned Coinbase and Gemini and all those other cryptocurrency companies, but it's definitely alarming. Like I said earlier, you don't know at this point, because those who you thought had solid ground would take this industry to the next level and build that trust that we so need in the industry, and they're falling down. They're collapsing one by one. So it's not good for the overall cryptocurrency industry at all.
It's a key question. And certainly I think, and this is particularly true of like the Bitcoin maximalists, they will tell you that that Bitcoin, has kind of been looped in with all the other cryptocurrencies, and it's not warranted. Now, whether you want to get into that or believe that or not is a whole nother. We could just
should have
debate
asked
that for the
Tom
rest
Lee
of the
about
show.
that. We should have asked Tom Lee yesterday.
But Bitcoin was, in fact, kind of dragged into it with a lot of the trading we saw with the leverage that sort of went into the system, et cetera. But it's going to be curious, and I should pull it up right now on my screen.
So as, of course, all this collapse, it's time that we do get regulation, right? Senator Elizabeth Warren had to post on her Twitter, and once more, as the bank of choice for crypto, Silvergate Bank's failures is disappointing but predictable. I warned of Silvergate's risky, if not illegal, activity and identified severe due diligence failures. Now, customers must be made whole, and regulators should step up against crypto risks. And that is partly due because we do not have clear regulation and guidelines and policy in order to regulate this industry. And that is what you have. That is what you have. Now people are losing their money, and companies that seemingly are solid are going down under.
And I will in a minute to see how all the other coins besides Bitcoin, besides Ether and Ethereum have been doing, because I think the whole industry across the board has just continued to get rocked.
Yeah.
All right.